Follow-up story tonight. The operator of a business in Dandridge has finally returned deposited checks to 3 customers who never received their cabinets and countertops they ordered a year ago. Consumer reporter Don Dare says the refunds were returned, much to the surprise of the families he spoke with last year. Don?
Well, that's right, Bo. They never expected to see their money for the cabinets that were never delivered. That's because the store owner, Michael Bossert, wrote to his customers saying last year that their deposits would be returned by September. Then he said October. And finally, he claimed December. But the money never came. Finally, the checks were sent within a week after he filed for bankruptcy just a few weeks ago. Mr. Bossert, Don Dare from Channel 6. Good to see you.
Business owner Michael Bossert said last November refund checks for cabinets to 3 of his customers we had interviewed would arrive by December. The kitchen cabinets were ordered at his store, Heartland Cabinet Factory Outlet in Dandridge, in the spring of last year. Checks amounting to full deposits were finally processed for each family in early March and April of this year. We first talked with Sharon Rutan, Jeff and Randy Swan, Ed and Allison Murphy last November. The Murphys received their check for more than $10,000 April 15th.
I told my wife, I said, "You ain't going to believe this." Michael Bossert just texted me and said, "Come pick up your check."
When you saw that text message, what'd you think?
I said, "We need to get in the car and go now." I was excited.
It's been a long time. We put the deposit down on our cabinets at February 20th, 2024.
And he said several times that
he was going to pay us back.
Ed Murphy says when he received Bossert's text message the other week, he immediately went to the store.
He gives me a check. He says, "Thank you for coming," and he says, "I'm sorry, but here is your check." And I said, "Thank you."
Finally, after 8 months of his promising to give us the money, we finally got it.
Jeff Swan also received a similar text from Michael Bossert.
Told me that he had a refund check for me and that I could come pick it up at his store or he would mail it to us. I quickly hopped in the truck and headed down there. I was in disbelief. I honestly never thought that we would see it.
There was disbelief because Mr. Bossert wrote to the State Attorney General's office saying the Swans would get their deposit by early October of last year.
October the 4th was the deadline.
I have no problem. The refunds are in. They're being waited for.
Never thought this would happen.
Because it's been so long.
Because it's been so long. We pretty much had gotten to the point where we were accepting that we just were never going to see it.
What did Mr. Bossert say to you when he handed you the check?
He claimed that the attorneys were involved and that's why it took so long.
Sharon Rutan received her full deposit in early March. She paid 50% down March 11th of last year, but her cabinets never arrived. When she filed a complaint with the state licensing board against Heartland last month, her deposit was sent within days. On March 31st, Michael Bossert filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy with the federal court. He plans to restructure his debt and lists liabilities between $1 to $10 million with over 50 creditors he owes money to. His store remains open in Dandridge, allowing him to negotiate with creditors and potentially leading to a repayment plan and a path to financial recovery.
I think it could have been avoided. I think there was many things that Mr. Bossert could have done. I think he could have been more upfront with us.
Now, Sharon Rutan, the Swans, and the Murphys say they bought new cabinets and countertops from another business and had them installed months ago. Together with his attorney, Michael Bossert will next appear in bankruptcy court to outline his plan to restructure his debt. As we said, his store will stay open for business, and the families we followed since last November are very happy to see their money. Bo?